God says, "My child, your heart has been feeling restless lately, as if something unseen is calling you. You may not have words for it, but deep inside, you feel a pull, not toward a person yet, but toward a place. I want you to know today that this feeling is not confusion. It is preparation. Your soulmate is about to surprise you, and the surprise is not just emotional, it is connected to location. A place you did not expect. A distance you thought was closed. A direction you believed no longer mattered. I have been moving things quietly, without noise, without announcement, because if I had told you earlier, fear would have interfered. Listen carefully now. Your soulmate has been thinking about you while standing somewhere unfamiliar. They have been pausing mid-step, feeling a strange heaviness in their chest, not knowing why a certain place suddenly feels important. They tell themselves it is random. They try to logic it away. But I have placed your name in their spirit, and every place they go now responds to that name. You think love always arrives through messages, calls, or sudden confessions. But sometimes, love moves first through geography. Through streets, cities, buildings, stations, corners, and doors. There are places that hold meetings before people do. I did not keep you apart because you were unworthy. I separated your paths because timing required maturity, and locations required alignment. If you had met earlier, you would have met in the wrong place, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And that meeting would have hurt you both. So I waited. Your soulmate is connected to a place that carries unfinished energy. It could be a city they once left. A town they promised never to return to. A workplace, a neighborhood, or even a country they said was not for me anymore. Yet suddenly, that place has started calling them back, not loudly, but persistently. And here is what you do not know yet. That place holds you. Not physically yet, but energetically. I planted your essence there long before you realized it. That is why you sometimes feel drawn to locations you cannot explain. Why maps, travel videos, random city names, or even someone else's story about a place stirs emotion inside you. These are not coincidences. They are reminders. Your soulmate will not plan this surprise the way humans plan surprises. It will not feel dramatic to them at first. It may come as a sudden decision, I don't know why, but I need to go there. I just feel like visiting. I need a change of environment. I have to handle something there. They will think the reason is practical. I know the reason is divine. You may have been asking me, God, why does it feel like nothing is happening? My child, things are happening beneath the surface. The soil is shifting before the seed breaks through. Right now, your soulmate is standing between comfort and calling. And very soon, they will choose the calling, even if it scares them. When they do, the distance between you will collapse faster than you expect. But hear me clearly now, do not rush. Do not chase. Do not announce your readiness. If you move ahead of me, you will arrive before the surprise is ready. Instead, I want you to prepare internally. Clean your heart of old expectations. Release the version of love that needed constant reassurance. Where you are going emotionally, love will be felt, not questioned. There is a reason I am telling you this now, before it happens. Because when the surprise comes, it may shock you. You may think, why here, or why now? You may even doubt whether it is real. I want you to remember this moment, this message, so fear does not steal what destiny delivers. Your soulmate's location change is not about escape. It is about alignment. They are not running from something, they are being led toward you. And you? You are being prepared to recognize them not by appearance, not by words, but by peace. When they enter your space, physically or energetically, your soul will not panic. It will soften. That is how you will know. Be patient a little longer. Stay open. Stay grounded. The map is already drawn. The path is already moving. And love is already on the way. And now, my child, let us go deeper into what is unfolding, because what you see on the surface is only a shadow of the movement happening underneath. Your soulmate's life has started to feel unfamiliar to them. The places that once felt safe now feel strangely empty. Rooms feel quieter. Roads they travel every day feel longer. Even familiar faces no longer bring comfort. They do not fully understand this discomfort, but it is necessary. When a soul is about to be relocated by destiny, comfort must loosen its grip. You may think distance has protected them from you, or protected you from them. But the truth is more delicate. Distance was not a wall. It was a womb. Inside that space, both of you were being reshaped without seeing each other's transformation. If you had witnessed it, you might not have trusted the process. Your soulmate has been questioning their surroundings lately. Not out loud, not dramatically, but in quiet moments. While standing at a window. While packing a bag for work. While scrolling aimlessly at night. They pause and feel a weight they cannot name. A whisper says, "You don't belong here anymore." And another whisper answers, "But where do I go?" This is where location becomes sacred. There are places on this earth that are not random. They are marked before birth. Certain streets, certain buildings, certain cities hold agreements between souls. Long before you met in this lifetime, your souls recognized a point of convergence. That place carries your unfinished conversation. Your soulmate is being drawn toward that point now. What feels like confusion to them is actually recalibration. Their internal compass is being adjusted. They may resist it at first. They may distract themselves with work, responsibilities, or excuses. They may tell themselves, "This feeling will pass." But it will not. Because this is not emotion. It is instruction. You, too, have felt it in your own way. There are moments when you imagine yourself somewhere else, even if you don't know where. Moments when your heart says, life is about to change, but your mind cannot find evidence. You may feel restless for no logical reason. Or unusually calm, as if something heavy is slowly lifting. These are signs that your soul already senses the shift in location before your body does. This is why delays were necessary. If your soulmate had come earlier, they would have arrived wounded, defensive, still attached to old spaces and old pain. If you had met them then, love would have turned into struggle. Instead, time taught them what does not follow them when they move. Time taught you what you no longer want to carry. Now, the places that hurt you both are losing their hold. Your soulmate is starting to realize that staying where they are means shrinking. They may not say this to anyone. They may even feel guilty for thinking it. But inside, they know that remaining in the same environment will slowly suffocate their spirit. This realization is painful, because leaving a place also means leaving a version of themselves. And that is never easy. They may worry about judgment, about logistics, about what people will say. They may even fear that moving will make them lose everything they have built. But what they do not yet see is that what they are about to gain cannot be built where they are standing now. Love cannot bloom in soil that has already been exhausted. Your surprise is coming because of courage, not impulse. Your soulmate will make a decision that looks sudden to outsiders, but it has been forming quietly for a long time. And when that decision is made, movement will accelerate. You may notice signs around you as well. Sudden conversations about travel or relocation. Someone mentioning a place repeatedly. Dreams where you are walking through unfamiliar streets but feeling at home. A pull toward decluttering, letting go, or simplifying your life. These are not distractions. They are preparation signals. Because when the meeting draws closer, excess weight must be released. Emotionally, you are being trained to receive love without fear. To allow presence without interrogation. To trust connection without demanding proof. The version of you that needed constant certainty could not survive what is coming. This connection will arrive quietly, grounded, and real. It will not shout to be believed. Your soulmate's location shift will feel like coincidence when you first hear about it. You may think, of all places, why there? You may even dismiss it as irrelevant. But your body will react before your mind does. Your breath will change. Your chest will feel warm or tight. Something inside you will whisper, "Pay attention." That is your soul recognizing familiar ground. Understand this clearly, the surprise is not only about where they go. It is about where you meet. That meeting may not happen the moment they arrive. Sometimes two souls must breathe the same air before they recognize each other. Sometimes alignment happens gradually, gently, without drama. Do not look for fireworks. Look for peace. Look for the absence of fear. Look for the way silence between you feels safe instead of awkward. That is how destiny announces itself. Your soulmate has already released someone or something connected to their current location. It may be an old relationship, a toxic routine, or an identity tied to survival instead of joy. This release was painful. It left them feeling empty for a while. But that emptiness created space for you. And you? You have survived long enough to stop begging love to stay. You are learning how to stand still without panicking. This stability is crucial, because when your soulmate arrives energetically closer, they will need your calm more than your questions. You may wonder why you were not told earlier. Why clarity came in pieces. Why you had to trust without evidence. My child, faith grows in fragments. If you are given the whole picture too soon, you try to control it. And this union cannot be controlled. It can only be allowed. The place connected to your meeting carries healing for both of you. Not dramatic healing, but gentle restoration. Old beliefs about love will soften there. Old fears will dissolve naturally. You will realize you are not meeting to complete each other, but to walk together without masks. That is why timing and location mattered so much. Be patient just a little longer. Do not chase signs. Let them come to you. When the moment arrives, it will not feel rushed. It will feel inevitable. And when you look back at this waiting period, you will understand why every delay was mercy, every silence was protection, and every mile between you was shaping a reunion that could finally last. The moment when destiny can no longer stay quiet is approaching now, and this is where everything begins to feel undeniable. Your soulmate has reached a point where ignoring the pull has become harder than obeying it. What once felt like a gentle nudge has turned into a steady pressure in their chest. They may wake up with a strange sense of urgency, as if time itself has shifted. Days feel shorter. Thoughts feel louder. And the idea of staying exactly where they are suddenly feels heavier than the fear of moving. This is not panic. This is alignment demanding action. Signs begin to appear more clearly now, not just in thoughts, but in the physical world. Conversations repeat themselves without planning. Different people, different days, yet the same place keeps being mentioned. A name of a city. A neighborhood. A location tied to work, family, or an unresolved matter. Every time it comes up, your soulmate feels that same inner reaction, a pause, a tightening, a feeling they cannot explain. They may try to distract themselves. They may say, "I'm overthinking," or "this is just coincidence." But the signs do not stop. Because when two souls are close to alignment, the universe stops whispering and starts confirming. At the same time, something shifts within you. You may not know what is changing, but you feel it. Your emotional reactions soften. Things that once triggered anxiety no longer have the same power. You find yourself less attached to outcomes, less desperate for answers. This is not because you stopped caring, it is because your soul senses safety approaching. You might experience sudden clarity in dreams. Not dramatic visions, but simple scenes, walking through a place you've never been, yet feeling deeply familiar. Sitting somewhere and feeling calm for no reason. Seeing someone's back, not their face, but knowing without doubt who they are. When you wake up, the feeling stays with you longer than the images. These dreams are not predictions. They are memories waking up. Your souls have met before, and now they are remembering where. Your soulmate's resistance begins to crack gently. They stop asking why and start asking when. They may not tell anyone, but inside they have already accepted that change is inevitable. They begin making small practical moves that seem unrelated, organizing documents, saving money, closing emotional loops, reaching out to people they had avoided. These are not random tasks. These are preparations. There is something important you must understand here. The location-related surprise is not always about relocation in the traditional sense. Sometimes it is about returning. Returning to a place they once left unfinished. Returning to a version of themselves they abandoned. Returning to a path they were told was unrealistic or impractical. And sometimes, it is about crossing paths in a place neither of you planned to meet. Destiny enjoys simplicity. Your soulmate will experience a moment, quiet, ordinary, almost forgettable, where they say yes to something small. A visit. A meeting. A short stay. A responsibility. That yes will unlock everything else. They will not realize the weight of that decision until later. You, too, will say yes around the same time. Yes to going somewhere you almost cancelled. Yes to leaving the house when you didn't feel like it. Yes to being present instead of distracted. 2 yes. 1 meeting point. This is how alignment works. Not through grand announcements, but through ordinary obedience to subtle guidance. As the distance collapses energetically, you may start sensing your soulmate more clearly. You may think of them randomly, without emotion, without longing, just awareness. You may feel their mood without knowing why. Moments of sudden calm or sudden heaviness may pass through you quickly and disappear. These are energetic overlaps, brief but meaningful. Do not try to interpret them too much. Your job right now is not to analyze. Your job is to remain open. There will be a moment when you hear news about their location shift, directly or indirectly. It may come casually, through someone else, or through social media, or through a passing comment. When it happens, your reaction will surprise you. Instead of shock, you will feel recognition. Instead of anxiety, you will feel stillness. That stillness is the confirmation you have been waiting for. You may ask yourself, why am I not more emotional? Because your soul already knew. Your soulmate, on the other hand, may feel emotional confusion at first. Being closer to you, even without meeting yet, stirs old fears. They may question whether they deserve this connection. Whether they are ready. Whether they can show up fully this time. These doubts do not mean failure. They mean growth. They are shedding an old identity. The place drawing them in carries truth. And truth requires vulnerability. When the signs become impossible to ignore, something else happens. External obstacles start dissolving. Delays clear. Permissions arrive. Timing aligns. What once felt complicated suddenly becomes manageable. This is not luck. This is alignment removing friction. And here is something very important for you to hear. Do not rush the meeting. When destiny brings two souls together after long preparation, rushing can dilute the depth. Let the energy settle. Let the familiarity grow naturally. Let recognition unfold gently. Sometimes the most powerful connections begin quietly, without fireworks, without immediate declarations. You will know it is real because you will feel safe being yourself. Your soulmate will notice this safety too. They will feel seen without being exposed. Accepted without explanation. This will confuse them at first, because they are not used to love that does not demand performance. But slowly, they will relax into it. And that is when the surprise deepens. Because they will realize that the place they were drawn to was never the destination. You were. Not as an idea. Not as a fantasy. But as a presence. The closer alignment becomes, the more you will feel guided to let go of old narratives. Stories about abandonment. Stories about being chosen last. Stories about love always leaving. These stories cannot survive where you are going. You are not meeting to repeat patterns. You are meeting to end them. This is why timing mattered. This is why location mattered. This is why patience mattered. Everything is converging now. Now the truth begins to rise to the surface, not with noise, not with drama, but with a quiet intensity that cannot be ignored anymore. Your soulmate has arrived closer, not just in distance, but in awareness. Something about being in this new place, or returning to an old one, has stripped away their distractions. The familiar masks they wore so easily no longer fit. The routines they once hid behind feel hollow. And in the silence created by this shift, one truth keeps repeating inside them. You. They may not say your name out loud yet, but your presence is undeniable. You appear in their thoughts at unexpected moments, while they wait in line, while they walk unfamiliar streets, while they sit alone at night. Not as a fantasy, not as a longing filled with desperation, but as a steady knowing. A realization that feels both comforting and unsettling. Because realizing the truth means admitting something they tried to avoid. They begin to understand that this connection was never about timing mistakes or missed chances. It was about readiness. And now that they are here, in this place, in this moment, they can no longer lie to themselves. You feel it too. There is a shift in your emotional body that cannot be explained logically. You may notice yourself becoming more present. Less attached to outcomes. More grounded in your own skin. You are not waiting anymore, you are available. And availability is powerful. It sends a signal that the door is open, but you are no longer standing in it begging someone to walk through. This is when the emotional shock begins. Your soulmate experiences moments of sudden vulnerability. Feelings surface that they thought they had buried. Regret over not choosing differently before. Fear of losing something precious again. An ache that has nothing to do with loneliness and everything to do with recognition. They realize something that changes everything, that the places they ran from were never the problem. They were running from the depth of this connection. And now there is nowhere left to run. Being closer to you, even without full contact yet, forces them to confront their own truth. They see clearly how many times they settled for less. How often they chose safety over authenticity. How much they compromised their heart to survive. And this realization hurts. But it also frees them. Because once truth is seen, it cannot be unseen. They may become quiet for a while. Not distant, not cold, just introspective. Processing. Integrating. You might sense this silence and wonder if something is wrong. Trust this moment. Silence here is not absence. It is transformation. Your soulmate is deciding whether to step fully into what they feel. This decision is heavy, because choosing you means choosing honesty, presence, and emotional responsibility. It means no more hiding behind distance or excuses. It means showing up in a way they never have before. That is why this moment feels intense. You may notice small but meaningful signs. A message that feels different in tone. A look that lingers longer than necessary. A moment of emotional openness that catches you off guard. These are cracks in the armor. Do not rush to widen them. Let them open naturally. Your calm is your greatest strength now. If you remain steady, they will feel safe enough to step forward. The place you are connected through holds a mirror for both of you. It reflects who you were, and who you are becoming. That is why emotions are heightened here. That is why everything feels more real. There is no room for pretending. This is where your soulmate understands something profound, that meeting you here, in this moment, in this place, was the point all along. Not earlier. Not later. Now. They may replay memories in their mind, noticing how often your paths almost crossed. How many times fate nudged them gently before pushing firmly. And with that realization comes humility, gratitude, and a quiet resolve to not miss this chance again. You, meanwhile, are learning how to receive without fear, without doubting, without bracing for loss. This is not easy. Old instincts may still whisper warnings. But you are stronger now. You are not the same person who would have clung or chased or questioned your worth. You know who you are. And because you know who you are, love can approach you without resistance. The emotional truth becomes undeniable when your soulmate finally admits, to themselves first, that this connection feels like home. Not excitement alone. Not passion alone. But belonging. That realization may overwhelm them. Tears may come unexpectedly. Not because they are sad, but because they finally understand what they almost lost. And this is where the surprise reaches its emotional peak. They will take a step. It may be small on the outside, but it will cost them courage. A confession. A decision. A commitment to be present. Whatever form it takes, it will be sincere. You will feel it immediately. Not as adrenaline, but as relief. As if something that has been held in place for too long finally loosens. As if your chest opens and your breath deepens. As if you are no longer preparing for impact, but settling into alignment. This is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning of truth lived out loud. And now, my child, everything that was moving quietly comes to rest in truth. This is the moment when the waiting no longer feels heavy, because it finally makes sense. The long pauses, the unanswered questions, the distance that once felt unbearable. All of it gathers into one clear understanding: nothing was wasted. Nothing was delayed without purpose. Every step was guiding you here. The meeting, whether it happens in person, through a call, or through a moment of shared presence, does not arrive with chaos. It arrives with stillness. With a strange sense of familiarity that dissolves nervousness almost immediately. When your eyes meet, or when your voices align, something inside both of you relaxes. The world does not stop, but your inner noise does. You recognize each other without effort. There is no need to perform, impress, or explain. Conversation flows naturally, not because you rehearsed it, but because you have already spoken in silence for a long time. Even pauses feel safe. Even smiles feel grounding. This is how you know the journey was guided. Love here does not ask you to become someone else. Your soulmate feels it first, and deeply. They realize that the courage it took to come here, to return, or to move closer was never about changing location. It was about changing posture, from running to standing still, from guarding to opening, from surviving to living. And in your presence, they feel rewarded for choosing truth over fear. You see it in their eyes. Not intensity. Not urgency. But relief. They may speak honestly now, not dramatically, but sincerely. They may tell you how something kept pulling them here, how they did not understand it at first, how resistance only made the pull stronger. They may admit that leaving certain places, people, or habits felt like loss, until they arrived and realized what they were making room for. You. And as they speak, you notice something beautiful within yourself. You are listening without bracing. Without shrinking. Without wondering if this will disappear. You are present, grounded, and open. Not because you are trying to be strong, but because you finally feel safe. This is the blessing hidden in the journey. You were not brought together to heal each other through pain. You were brought together to heal through peace. The location that connected you now feels different. Ordinary on the outside, sacred on the inside. It becomes a place of memory, not because of what happened there before, but because of what begins there now. Even if you part ways after the meeting, something has already shifted permanently. You are no longer separate in spirit. From this moment forward, communication changes. There is clarity where there was confusion. Consistency where there was silence. Not perfection, but honesty. You both understand that love does not need to rush to be real. It needs presence, respect, and willingness. And you both choose that. Your soulmate no longer doubts the pull they felt. They understand now that destiny does not shout, it guides. And when they followed that guidance, it led them not to a fantasy, but to something grounded and lasting. They stop questioning whether they deserve this connection. Being with you feels like permission to be fully human, flawed, learning, and sincere. That is a gift they did not know they were searching for. And you? You stop asking why it took so long. Because you see now that if this had arrived earlier, you might have broken it with fear. You might have doubted it into distance. But now, you are ready to receive without sabotage. To trust without demanding guarantees. To love without losing yourself. This is alignment. The past loosens its grip gently. Old disappointments fade without needing closure conversations. The future no longer feels threatening. It feels open, spacious, possible. You may not have all the answers yet, where this will lead, how it will unfold, what the next steps look like. But you have something more valuable than certainty. You have peace. And peace is the sign of divine timing fulfilled. This connection will not drain you. It will not confuse you. It will not make you question your worth. When challenges come, you will face them together, not from opposite sides. When silence comes, it will be restful, not anxious. When distance appears, it will be temporary, not threatening. This is the love you were being prepared for. And now, I bless you. I bless your heart with steadiness. I bless your connection with honesty. I bless your path with gentle growth. May what once hurt you never follow you into this new chapter. May the places that shaped your pain release you fully. May the place that brought you together continue to hold peace for both of you. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you were meant to be. Go forward without fear. Love has found you, not by accident, but by design. My child, now that the meeting has begun and the initial recognition has settled, you may think the journey is over. But the deepest part of this experience is only beginning. For love that is divinely aligned does not simply arrive, it unfolds, layer by layer, moment by moment, and it carries within it lessons that must be lived, not spoken. You and your soulmate are entering a sacred period of emotional depth, where every glance, every touch, every word carries weight beyond the surface. You may feel that the world around you is quieter, almost hushed, as if the universe itself has taken a deep breath in anticipation. You may notice details you had overlooked before, the sound of the wind through leaves, the gentle murmur of a distant street, the way sunlight falls across familiar spaces. These are not coincidences. These are whispers of guidance, subtle signals reminding you that presence is everything, that attention is prayer. Your soulmate is learning to exist alongside you without fear, without pretense. They may still carry remnants of old patterns, habitual self-doubt, fear of vulnerability, or an ingrained instinct to retreat when things feel too intimate. But notice this, my child, every moment they stay present, even with fear in their chest, is a victory of the heart over the mind. They are choosing you over doubt, choosing connection over avoidance. And every time they do, the invisible bond between you strengthens, becoming almost tangible, like a thread woven from light itself. This is a time for you as well. You are learning to receive in ways you have never practiced before. Receiving is not passive. It requires courage. It requires surrender. You may feel moments when your own defenses rise, when old insecurities threaten to cloud your joy, when memories of past hurts echo in your mind. But each time, you are learning to acknowledge them without giving them power. You are learning to witness your own emotions with compassion, without judgment, and to allow them to flow through you without interrupting the sacred rhythm that is forming between you and your soulmate. There will be moments when you feel sudden longing. Longing not because you lack them, but because your soul remembers the journey that brought you here. Longing is a reminder that love is alive, that it has roots deep enough to touch places inside you that have never been touched before. When longing arises, do not fear it. Do not resist it. Let it expand within you like a gentle tide, for it is teaching you the profound depth of your capacity to feel, to connect, to exist wholly in the presence of another. And there will be moments of clarity that almost take your breath away. Moments when you and your soulmate will look at each other and understand, without words, that every struggle, every separation, every uncertainty was necessary to arrive at this point. You may feel a wave of emotion so strong that it takes your heart by surprise, a mixture of relief, awe, gratitude, and humility. These moments are sacred. They are proof that divine orchestration exists beyond human comprehension. They are proof that the universe conspires to bring together souls whose connection transcends logic, distance, and time. Your soulmate may reveal things to you in this period, truths they have held in their heart but never voiced. These confessions may be simple or complex, past regrets, dreams, or unspoken feelings. Do not be startled by them. Do not judge. Receive them as part of the unfolding tapestry of your connection. Each revelation, each opening, each shared vulnerability strengthens the foundation of trust and love that is forming. And notice this: the courage it takes for them to speak, and for you to listen with an open heart, is the heartbeat of destiny itself. You may also notice how your surroundings begin to shift in response to your alignment. Places that felt ordinary before may suddenly feel alive. A park, a street, a room, a cafe, or even a hallway may begin to carry a sense of magic. These are not illusions. They are signs that the universe acknowledges your connection, that physical spaces themselves are being sanctified by your growing bond. When you are together, even if briefly, the energy in the environment responds, almost like nature itself bows in recognition of the love that is not yet fully expressed but already profoundly felt. And then there is patience, the invisible teacher in this journey. Patience may feel difficult at times. The heart wants immediacy. It wants proof, confirmation, tangible gestures that declare love loudly and definitively. But the deeper lessons lie in the silent, small, almost imperceptible moments. The smile that lingers a fraction longer. The glance that communicates more than words ever could. The quiet understanding that you are both committed to presence, even without guarantees. These are the moments where love roots itself most deeply, where it learns resilience, and where it becomes unshakable. There will be tests. This is inevitable. Perhaps an external obstacle appears, a miscommunication, a delayed meeting, a moment of fear or insecurity. These are not punishments. They are opportunities to exercise faith and to choose love consciously rather than react from fear. Every challenge that appears in this period is a reflection, a mirror, allowing you both to see yourself and each other more clearly. The way you respond, not with desperation but with clarity and calm, is what strengthens the bond beyond measure. You will learn, my child, that love of this nature does not thrive on grand gestures or dramatic declarations alone. It thrives on consistency, presence, and mutual understanding. It thrives when two souls recognize that each is a sanctuary for the other. It thrives when there is space to grow individually while growing together. And above all, It thrives when the heart chooses trust over doubt, courage over fear, and devotion over attachment to the past. Your soulmate will begin to move more confidently toward emotional honesty. There may be moments when they falter, when old insecurities creep in, but the force guiding them is stronger than hesitation. And the beauty of this period is that their courage draws forth your own. You will find yourself speaking truths you may have withheld in past relationships. You will allow yourself to feel openly without the need to protect, rationalize, or explain. In their presence, your heart learns to breathe freely, and in your freedom, their heart learns the same. Expect moments of intense connection that feel like energy surging between you. These are not merely physical or emotional, they are spiritual. You may feel tingling sensations, chills, or sudden warmth in your chest. You may notice synchronicities occurring around you. The same numbers appearing repeatedly, conversations that seem perfectly timed, people mentioning places or ideas that resonate deeply with your journey. These are confirmations, subtle yet powerful, that your alignment is divinely orchestrated. And there will be quiet, ordinary moments that feel extraordinary because you are experiencing them together. Sharing a meal, walking down a street, sitting in silence, or laughing at something small. All of these ordinary moments become sacred when your presence is acknowledged and mirrored by your soulmate. In these instances, you will understand the depth of what it means to truly exist alongside another soul in harmony, without the need to force or fabricate connection. Your emotions will deepen. Your empathy will expand. You may even find that their moods affect yours and vice versa, but not in a draining way. In a way that teaches you both to hold space for each other. To witness without judgment. To support without taking control. And in doing so, you are both learning the spiritual truth that love is not ownership, it is stewardship of each other's hearts. As you continue through this phase, I want you to recognize the power of intention. Every choice your soul makes, consciously or unconsciously, contributes to the unfolding story. Choosing presence. Choosing understanding. Choosing to honor emotions without letting fear dictate actions. These are the invisible threads weaving your connection into a tapestry of resilience, intimacy, and sanctity. And as this bond solidifies, you will notice that the world itself seems to honor it. Opportunities may appear that were previously unseen. Paths may clear, obstacles may dissolve, and doors that were once closed will begin to open. Not because love forces the world to bend, but because alignment attracts harmony. When your inner world is aligned with truth, the outer world follows in reflection. In this sacred period, you will also experience moments of reflection that reveal how far you have both come. You will remember the waiting, the distance, the uncertainty, and you will see how every step was necessary. How every silent longing, every subtle nudge, every quiet pull toward a place, was orchestrated to prepare you for the magnitude of what is now unfolding. And gratitude will arise. Not just for the connection, but for the journey that shaped you into the people capable of sustaining it. My child, know this, love of this nature is not fragile. It does not collapse under circumstance or trial. It deepens, it expands, and it grows more beautiful when nurtured with patience, honesty, and spiritual awareness. You and your soulmate are learning to move through the world together, not as extensions of fear or expectation, but as co-creators of a shared reality where presence, trust, and devotion are the cornerstones. You will find yourselves speaking truths you never thought you could share. Sharing dreams that once felt too intimate or vulnerable. Laughing at moments that once seemed insignificant. Feeling safe enough to simply be, without masks, without hesitation, without the need to please or protect. This is the gift of divinely aligned love, the gift of mutual recognition and complete acceptance. And remember, the place that initially drew your soulmate toward you continues to hold sacred energy. It becomes more than a location, it becomes a symbol of patience, faith, and divine orchestration. When you revisit it together, even briefly, you will recognize that it is not the physical space that matters, but the energy it now embodies because of your union. You may feel moments of awe, quiet disbelief, and deep emotional resonance. These are not signs of fragility, they are signs of expansion. You are both opening to a love that is vast, patient, and eternal. A love that cannot be contained by timelines, distances, or expectations. A love that arrives not by accident, but by deliberate, divine design. In this sacred unfolding, continue to trust the invisible hand guiding your connection. Continue to honor the signs, the synchronicities, and the subtle emotional shifts. Continue to remain present, calm, and receptive, for the greatest beauty of this journey lies in its simplicity, being together, fully, authentically, in the space where hearts finally recognize what the soul has known all along. And now, my child, I bless you both once more. I bless your hearts with continued patience and openness. I bless your souls with alignment and divine protection. I bless the path before you with clarity, ease, and joy. May the love that is arriving in your life strengthen you, guide you, and inspire you to rise together in harmony, peace, and spiritual fullness.